Oh my god, we haven't completed any transfers as yet. Oh my god, what's happening with Onana? Oh my god, Murtoy shit. Oh my god, oh my god. Do you recognize yourself?
Hello there.
I get that. I'm a Manchester United fan, just as you. But I'm here to tell you, relax. Things are going according to plan. So, why don't you stick around, take a sip on your coffee, take a deep breath, and we see you in 10 seconds.
The bomb.
The bomb.
Beyond insanity. What have you heard?
I've just heard it's brutal and unenjoyable.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
We will. That's not nice.
No, not at all.
That's not nice. That is disgusting.
Well, hello there, Mick will be here back again from Mufc Realist TV. Hope you're doing fine this Saturday. Hope you are cool, calm, composed. And yesterday, by the way, we did a unique show on podcast last night called Mental United, where we, on the back of the Dele Alli story, opened up for the global fan base to speak about mental health. And we understand and we recognize that this transfer and takeover market is playing our emotions, and it's so easy to throw our toys out of the pram and feel depressed and anxiety. But listen, stop it right here, because I feel responsibility right now to tell you, like, chill, calm, relax. This is Mufc Realist TV. We try to apply logic and reasoning and provide you with the motion sickness pill in the midst of everything in terms of transfers and everything. And don't fall for the media clicks and spins, and I know what other content creators are creating, but at the end of the day, you know, things are going according to plan. You know, you just have to wait. I know it's not easy. I know it's playing on your mental health, but just think about it. Just think about it. Take a deep breath. We are going according to plan. So, you know, regarding the transfer market, regarding the takeover, let that slide for a second. What is important that Tenhag is getting his players over the line. It's simply not a FIFA career mode where you're playing, you know, Xbox or FIFA or whatever, and that transfer will go like this. It's more complicated than that. So in regards with the transfer and what's going on with Onana, Hojlund and all that jazz and takeover, let's just first start off to have a little bit of review of other people, what they're saying, and other content creators, and comment on that as well. And then I'm gonna apply my logic and reasoning to that as well.
I can't lie to you guys. I'm not in a good mood today. Not waking up in a good mood. Not been in the best mood the last 3 days. And Man United doing absolutely nothing despite being told they were going to do something again is not put me in a much better mood.
I feel you, Alice, and that's pretty much what the majority of the fan base are feeling. That's normal.
Better mood. I mean, yesterday Romano said that here we go for Onana would be yesterday. And then we find out that, like, the deal is still likely to be done. It's not like the deal is off. But United aren't giving in to what they want up front and are faffing about with add-ons this, add-ons that. Erik ten Hag made it so clear this is the signing he wants. He wants them in the plane for pre-season. Get it done. I know FFP that, FFP this, but stop faffing with a couple million and just get it done. Because you know what? You can say FFP this and FFP that, but if you actually went and sold a player, because Ten Hag wanted about 13 players sold, you wouldn't even have to worry about the FFP of paying an extra 2 million up front for Andre Onana.
Yeah, that's a very valid point, Alice, what you mentioned in that. But on the other hand, United is trying to be different this time around in the transfer market, not being taken to the dry cleaners, as what Woodward was saying. We got money to spend, we can buy anyone in the market. So FFP does play a important part, and you know, to sell all these players that are on inflated wages, it's definitely on the Woodward and the old Glazers that were giving the inflated prices. Now FFP doesn't really look at the amount of players that you're buying for. It looks at the overall operational spend in terms of salary. So what the club is trying to do is lower down the wage bill. The departure of 𝑷𝒉𝒊𝒔𝒕 actually freed up 75 million. That could be added on to the transfer kitty. So just a food for thought. What Murtaugh and the rest of the team is trying to do is perform miracles, according to my opinion, to get it over the line. Yes, it's not a FIFA career mode as you are playing. If you work in the intermediate market, in the old days, it was quite simple. It used to be 4 people negotiating the deal. It used to be the agent and one representative from Manchester United side, one representative for the other clubs, buying club side, selling club side. But nowadays there's more chefs involved. It's simply 5, 10, 15 people sometimes, and there's a lot of things that needs to be checked, dot and agreed in terms of payment structures, in terms of image rights. This takes time, right? And it's fairly normal, but I wouldn't worry. Let's continue.
15th of July, halfway through July, transfer window's been open basically a month and a half. The season opens in less than a month. We're more than halfway through the transfer window. And what have United done? What have United done?
I'm Mark Goldbridge, and this is your latest Manchester United news as our transfer window descends yet again into farce, circus, act, pantomime, whatever you want to call it. I just find it. I think it is a reality that we probably expected, but I think it's a complete and utter joke. I don't know why people sympathise with incompetence, by the way. I feel like United's recruitment department are playing out some crappy attempt at a job application where they're trying to show they're competent, but yet again failing to do so, and we're meant to be patient with them as they attempt to be competent. I think it's a joke. It's a Friday night. It's another week when nothing happened.
Yeah, as alluded before, fans are expecting things to happen over one night. It's far more complicated, Mark and Alice, you know what? But big up for providing that energy. Big up because at the end of the day, we are held by the Glazers on a ransom currently on the market. But still, as a content creator, we owe it to the fan base for the mental health and the anxiety. So it's no good to add more petrol to the fire, according to my opinion.
And I've tried to be so positive. I've tried to be upbeat. I'm saying, look, Mount and Onana, good signings. Bring in Hojlund, that's 3 really good signings. Get Amrabat in, and that's good business from United, considering the restraints and the restrictions placed upon us. And I'm not going to go in on Murtaugh and Arnold. At the end of the day, the people above them aren't releasing them the funds to do their job.
Absolutely spot on, Alice. And you should stay positive. Everyone should be positive. If you know that John Murtaugh and the rest of the recruitment team are trying to do miracles, but currently their hands are tied behind the back because everything needs to be signed off by the Glazers. But the question is, are they still involved? It looks like Ten Hag has full control, and no need to hit the panic button as of yet. The transfer window has been open domestically for a couple of weeks, but the international market has only been open 1 week, and we still have 4 weeks to go, or 5 weeks to go, or 50 days to go, to be honest. 50 days to go, so plenty of time. As long as Ten Hag gets his targets in, we'll be good.
I'm not, the focus for me should be on the Glazers. I think that and the whole board at United needs to go. But our focus and our negative energy has to be going towards the Glazers. No one else at the club. Stop this.
Thank you for seeing it. Calling a spade a spade. Yes, stop this. Guys, you should stop blaming each other. Stop blaming what we're trying to do. We are turning the page. New owners are coming in. It is what it is. You just have to be patient. I know it's difficult, but Alice is 100% right. The focus you should be providing right now is to help us to get the Glazers out as far as we can. As far as we can. The more voices are protesting, turn your anger towards the Glazers. Start protesting more. Put pressure on. But for God's sake, don't turn your hate on the football operations side. They are simply trying to recruit the best players for Erik ten Hag so we can compete next season. And that is what matters right now. Right? One thing is to get the Glazers out. Yeah, I get that. But number 2, as a football club, we want to compete. We want to be glory, glory Manchester United. We have a Ten Hag manager that's taking us to places. We came 3rd under circumstances. We won a silverware. Fantastic. Whoopsie days. Great. But now it's time to shape the image and the squad that Ten Hag wants. That means sell the players that doesn't fit his requirements, the surplus of requirements, and then recruit in the players that he wants. It might not be the sexy players that you want, but at the end of the day, you're not the sporting director, you're not the coach, you're not the accountant at Manchester United. you are the consumer of the game. In terms of your mental health, this is just my advice. If you start thinking that way, it surely does help. You know, I know you're invested. I know you want things to happen, like me. I'm passionate. I'm a fan at the end of the day. But there's nothing you can do about it. The thing that you can do is protest against the Glazers, but you cannot affect the recruitment policy. So hopefully we clear this negativity, toxic environment out and start thinking fresh, right? What's going on simply with Andrew Onana, it is a done deal. According to, 𝒂𝒐, which is highly credible, everything is done and dusted. United is simply trying to negotiate the payment structure. We know that Inter Milan wants as much cash up front as possible. United is trying to sort of negotiating the upfront fee. We heard that Onana is ready to fly off to Manchester to do his medical. Everything is done and dusted. He will come, relax. There's no drama. 99% he will be a Manchester United player, and he will be on that flight to US tour, what Erik ten Hag wants. Now, in regards to the old saying that Manchester United cannot do two deals at the same time, absolutely not true. In this season alone, we appointed Matt Hargreaves. We have new recruitment team working tirelessly to get what Erik ten Hag wants. Erik ten Hag seems to have full control. We are hearing that we are negotiating with Atalanta that wants silly money, but I think at the end of the day, the player has agreed personal terms. He only wants Manchester United. He's a boyhood Manchester United fan. They are working tirelessly to get Rasmus Hojlund in before the US tour, and I think they will do it. I think that they will land on a fee of 60 million euro altogether, and that is fair. The person they're dealing with is Lee Congerton, British, used to work with the Leicester. He was the one that conned us for Harry Maguire, but that's water under the bridge. Now it's simply to get the target that Erik ten Hag wants. Rasmus Hojlund. He might be raw, he might be young, but he is a one that could elevate us to the next level. Perhaps not this season, but the seasons after. He's still young, 20 years of age, but he can still contribute with 15 goals this season. Depends on how it pans out. So if you do remember, in the beginning of the transfer market, we were always saying that, even the reports were saying that Manchester United are looking for two strikers. We're looking for the senior top level striker and a junior understudy striker. Rasmus Hojlund is one of the junior, and the top identified target was Harry Kane. Now reports now coming out that Manchester United is still monitoring the situation. It's down to Harry Kane now. It's down to Harry Kane, and I think that if that's the case, if Harry Kane puts his foot down and demands a transfer, we will get Harry Kane at the end of the transfer window. We saw Harry Kane the other day eating hot chicken wings and giving away an interview. He took it like a man. He came to the bomba.
I've heard about this.
The bomb.
The bomb.
Beyond insanity. What have you heard?
I've just heard it's brutal and unenjoyable.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
We will. That's not nice.
No, not at all.
That's not nice. That is disgusting.
If you missed it, go check it out. The bomba. That was the spicy stuff. So that means that Harry Kane has cojones after all. So I wouldn't panic about that. It's astute in negotiation side not to be taken to the cleaners and not being taken the piss out of. Because in the past, Manchester United would just wave up front and say, here's 80 million, we will cave. Not this time. Because according to the reports, you're seeing that the outs is also taking place, it's shaping place. We're seeing Fred being in a bidding war. We see Fenerbahce wants him, we see Saudi wants him, we see that Fulham wants him, we see McTominay is being linked to West Ham. Even the likes of the Deadwood, like Elanga, is also being linked out to Everton. There's movement. There's going to be movements, including Harry Maguire, hopefully. Now the Declan Rice has been a done deal. West Ham sold him. West Ham are now going to have 105 million to spend, or 100 million to spend. Rest assured they're going to move the two towards their targets in terms of Harry Maguire, possibly, God help us, Scott McTominay. Let's see. And this is what I like about the club. We are acting and negotiating like a club. So guys, let me know what you think. At least I try to provide a little bit of calmness to the situation. I hope you see the value in what we are presenting right here, right now on this Saturday. the transfer market is still fluid. The transfer market is still open. There's plenty of time to do business, ins and outs. So let's move on to the takeover news. This is kind of depressing to talk about, but I want to talk about something that, Webby Oneil mentioned, and they're pretty much spot on what they think.
First of all, let's kick this off. Your overall thoughts on the takeover process so far?
My overall thoughts on it. Since they announced it, I think they've been in shock. I think things are going proper pear-shaped for them. I think they were looking at investment. They were hoping for lots of bidders to come in, get the price. I don't think they were sure if they wanted 6 or 5 billion, but they were expecting more bids, and I think they've been shocked. And I think over the last 12 months, when you look at what they've been doing, things have changed. The cost of the Premier League has gone up. Wages, buying players has gone up. So that investment, what they wanted on the table to bring in, is going to cost them a lot of money.
Absolutely, smashing point on. I mean, it's been 9 months in the making of the the bidding, and football has changed. The operational costs have changed. Saudi has come in the market as well. The cost of running a football club is astronomical. In terms of minority investors, we know that Glazers were always looking for minority investors to stay, because they kicked the can as far as they could, and that can hit the wall. So they could not run the club. There's no other way than a full sale. The minority investors came in, looked at it, looked at the finances, and realized to give you guys 5-6 billion, it's out of the equation. In the current financial situation, in the current market, where the Buccaneers is down as well, they own a lot of money. They are not to be trusted to be given any money. And there's a lot of money to be invested, in terms of investing in Carrington, investing in the football stadium new, in terms of just running the football club. Spot on. Let's hear what Oneil has to say further.
I think their business model, they've seen it, and I think the Saudi Arabia, the way they've come into football, they can see that there's more cost going to be associated with running a football club. So the point of bringing in investment, I think, has gone pear-shaped for them. I think it's gone pear-shaped with the bidders, with the amount what they've got. All I can see here at this moment.
Sorry to interrupt you. So you think that they wanted an actual bidding war with more bidders, wanting actually a controlling stake of 100% of Manchester United?
Yeah, I think they...
Not just minority investment.
Yeah, I think they've been caught out by the lack of price bids for the club. And to be honest with you, I thought the club was worth a lot more. But situations have changed in the last 12 months with costs associated with running a football club and with the Saudi Arabia, with what's coming. I think that will affect the Premier League going forward. And I think the Glazers and the two bidders, Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim, I think they're going to be looking at their bids again. There is an enormous amount of costs going to be associated to football clubs going forward because of the Saudi Arabia moves, what they're doing.
And there you have it, the devil's in the details, and it's absolutely spot on what he's saying there. The football has changed. It's become more of a billionaires, ultra-billionaires club to run a football club, to be successful. Premier League is changing. There is a lot of money to be invested to run the operational cost. Certainly has kind of affected, the bidding process as well. I mean, if you're an Ineos or if you're Sheikh Jassim, you would have seen what you're paying. Spot on in terms of the evaluation, fine. I agree that, the club would have been worth more, but if you look at the overall cost of running the club in the future, it's astronomical as well. Football is changing, and with the Saudis coming into the game, that's a different game changer. So finally, I think that adults are speaking up, see it for what it is. We as a consumers of the game really don't know what's going on, what the negotiating is. Perhaps they're hitting that sweet spot of 6 billion. Perhaps they're also overseeing, like, hang on a second, we have to fork out, first of all, to pay $1 billion in your debts that you racked up. That's one thing, that's one transaction. Then you have to pay the Glazers out the 69% of the fair price according to what you agreed with, which is the premium buyout. It could be $38 per share, and then you have to pay the remaining of 31% of the Class A shareholders, like the retail shareholders, can be you and me or any other the minority investors as well. So this can take time in formal ways. Why are they not announcing the deal right now? It doesn't really make sense at the moment. There is money to be spent for Erik ten Hag in the transfer window. If you add on another takeover news, the rest assured, if you're playing a game of poker, if you're trying to sort of negotiate deals to get the players over the line what you want, the opponent's got to know what cards you have. They're going to know how much money do you have all of a sudden. Oh, hey, hang on a second, you got new owners, you got new money. But rest of fact assured that that's not always going to be the case. Even if you get new owners in, according to the FFP, even if you clear the debt, the maximum amount that the new owners can squeeze in, that means Sheikh Jassim, is 60 million euros, adding on to the transfer kitty. To be honest, fair and square, look it up, it's there, just Google it. So even if we do have 250, what's been reporting, in the transfer kitty market to spend, we sell players, we add on another 100 million revenue, we actually lower down the wage bill by shipping off 𝑷𝒉𝒊𝒔𝒕, saved 75 million a year. It doesn't make sense to have new owners in the middle of a transfer window. Therefore, I believe, it's my theory, that this will be announced at the very end of the transfer window, meaning end of August, beginning of September. But that's just my thought and theory, if you think of business practice and what's logic and reasoning. Guys, this has been Mick Roby, giving you a little bit of my thoughts and reason. I had my say, and hopefully I made your day. But please leave your comments below as per usual, like and subscribe, and I give you back the day. Thank you. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching Mufc Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.